This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let's get right into it. So this is just going to be a follow-up from yesterday because some things happened today. Charlamagne, of course, went on The Breakfast Club and spoke about Nicki Minaj, talking about him and how he teamed up with Safaree to try to get his rap career going. I remember that. Okay, I remember him saying, I think Safaree's going to have a hit single this year. I just have a feeling. And, they would always hype Safaree up when he came out with something. And, they let him come up there. And, the biggest thing with Safaree after he broke up with Nicki was talking about Nicki, obviously. And, he did what he had to do to survive. You can't really fault him for that in a way. I mean, the lies that he probably obviously told that was a little much. But, him talking about his past relationship, that's all he had at the moment, So that's what he did. I'm not saying he was right or anything. But, Charlamagne definitely kept that going. And then when he gave Nicki some constructive criticism on some songs she did, because you're not going to like everything that someone does. And this is the problem with music, okay? And this will come around now. Don't get me wrong, I support Nicki and what she's doing, and she's done amazing things. But she made a point recently with the Trina video. She said Trina didn't have a budget. You're supposed to have a budget, and this is a business, and you're supposed to have a budget for the video. Well, that applies to radio as well. I'm not saying Charlamagne was right, but you think you're friends with people on the radio and everything when it's still a business. And this is the big thing I hate about the music business is that it feels like you're friends with people, but it's really just a business. And then on the radio, they're going to give their criticism of a song. And yes, you might not like it because that could hurt the success of a song. But it's still a business. There's media in business, and then there's the people who make art in the business. There's a lot of different levels to it. So you can't really hold that against somebody. Maybe he went too hard on it. I don't know. I'm just saying. So, going back to the Trina thing, when Trina's manager spoke about Nicki not doing the video, not supporting the record, I don't think it's her job to support the record. She featured on it. I think she posted it up. I think that's enough. But as far as the video, maybe she felt like it needed a budget, okay? And she did business on it. So she's not wrong in that, right? She chose what to do for her brand, just like Charlamagne did for his brand. And this is another thing I hate. So Joe Budden was on Nicki's Apple Radio. She controlled the conversation, right? Which is fine, okay? I'm not knocking anybody. And, she got off what she had to get off. She responded. She has the right to. And Joe Budden was there to, respond back. But here's the thing that I don't like. Then she does his radio station, right? So, this is the thing. You got to have media person. This is what I liked about the Joe Budden podcast before. When they weren't doing interviews, right? You can be unbiased with your opinions on things, But once you have a relationship with somebody and you sit down with them and then you have an interview with them or a talk, it changes that relationship there. Now, you can't freely speak how you feel and give people criticism about certain things, And because now it'll look like you're betraying that person, And that's what I never liked about this. You can sit down with somebody. So he sits down with Nicki. Now Nicki drops an album. What if Joe Budden doesn't like the album? He's not going to tell anybody that he doesn't like the album. He's going to say, it was pretty good. It's good she's putting out albums. He's not going to give his opinion, And that's where I think media goes wrong a lot, is that you make these allies with people because you're interviewing them. And then now you won't give your honest opinion on anything about that person because now you're biased. I'm guilty of this myself, okay? I won't go so hard on Nicki ever because I feel like we have a lot of history. So, yeah, and I admit it. When people call me out in the comments oh, you might be biased with Nicki. I say, yeah, I might be a little bit because I was there from the beginning and I totally respect how she worked very hard to get where she was. I saw her working so hard, so I respect her differently than a fan would, or someone that just listens to her music. I saw the grind, and I saw the trials and tribulations she had to go through and the obstacles she had to overcome, just like some people might respect my career and the obstacles I had to overcome because they witnessed it and they wouldn't be so hard on me, So, the moral of the story is, okay, the music business is a business, okay? And people get in their feelings, anybody. It could be Joe Budden, Charlamagne, Nicki, anybody, even me, okay? If you feel like you have a relationship with somebody and you're friends with somebody, and then you guys do business together and they treat it as business and not as a friendship, I think that's the biggest problem with the music business, is that it feels like friendships and it's not. It's really just business, in their business relationships, their business friendships. They have a they have a time limit, And I also feel like that having the attention and the spotlight on you is like a drug of some sort. You never, when you reach such a height in your career, like a Nicki or a Beyonce or a Jay-Z, she's in that conversation, a Kanye. You've reached such heights that only very few people will ever experience. That's like a drug that you're chasing a high that you're never gonna get again. Because everything that peaks, when you peak, you're not gonna always stay at the top, especially with entertainment. Okay. It comes and goes, like it dips down and then it comes back if you're lucky enough to get another hit, Jay-Z's Jay-Z. He's an icon at this moment, but it's nothing like it was in, early 2000s when he was having hit records, that's a different kind of attention, it's just, he's an icon now. Little Kim went through this in 2009 when it just wasn't the same anymore. The last hit she had was with Little Cheeks, or Mr. Cheeks from Lost Boys, called Put Your Lighters or something like that. But that was the last hit she had. Or was it that one, or was the Magic Stick? She was on Magic Stick with 50 Cent? Maybe that was it. After that, it was like, there was a gap, and then Nicki came in, and she didn't like that Nicki came in, And right now, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion are coming in, and there's a lot of female rappers, and Nicki was a major part of breaking down the doors for new female rappers. She is the queen of this new era of female rappers, and nobody will ever dispute that. Some people, people that aren't in tune would dispute that, but Nicki had a great, let's be honest, Nicki didn't have any competition from 2009 to 2016. Who would have thought Cardi B would have been her competition? But that's what happened. Cardi B came in, and around Cardi B, a lot of other females were trying to come in. You got Cash Doll, and now from Cash Doll, you got a bunch of dolls. Asian Doll, Dream Doll. There's a million dolls. That was a trend. But the only other person that was able to peak like Nicki was Cardi B. Now it looks like Meg Thee Stallion's going to be the next one. Nicki has embraced Megan Thee Stallion, which is good. Okay, I think that's awesome. She did embrace Cardi B too. Cardi B just did a little trick on her with that record with the Migos. I wonder if she'll ever do a record with the Migos again, because remember Quavo, when he released his last album, he tried to redo Nicki's opening of Presents and stuff. I wonder if they'll ever be cool again. But the moral of the story is, this is the music business. Fame is a drug, as Jay-Z said. It's the worst drug known to man. It's worse than any other drug, okay? And People chase that, and I'm not saying, everyone is guilty of chasing that, because it feels good to be on top, So, the more the story is, the music business is a business, and you can't really fault people for giving their opinion, period, So anyways, guys, that's it. I don't even know how I'm going to title this, but we'll figure it out. This is Jordan Tower with JT News, and I'll check you guys in the next one. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday.